All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video and a warning to Babylon the Great, which is America, man, in regards to how the judgment of a whore never really comes quickly, man. And I'm thinking about it in terms of actual women in this world, right? In terms of how, like, women are actually whores. When do you ever really see a woman that's a harlot actually get judged instantly when she's doing what she's doing? You rarely don't ever see. It's like they can't lose, right? Now, I also want to use this scripture here that I'm about to read, Revelation chapter 17 and verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. So when you again consider an actual real harlot in this world, right? Not every harlot's easy to spot, man. Some of them are a mystery. Some of them, it takes you some time to see what they're really about, man. Some of them, it takes the right man, the right situation, the right circumstance, right? The right emotion, or the right them being out of the country, maybe, right? Them being out of town, the man having the right car, the man having the right fragrance, the man having the right ponytail, the man having the right arm sleeve tattoo, her breaking up with her boyfriend, her begging attention. Like, the right situation has to be there in order for the mystery of a harlot to be revealed sometimes, man. Now, when it comes to America, which is Babylon the Great, the mystery is now being shown, man, that Babylon the Great, America, is a whole, right? Now, when you consider going back to actual real woman, right? That's a harlot. When you first upon a time in this world, if a man thinks that a woman is not a harlot, right? And then he comes to realize that she's a harlot, all you brothers out there, anyone that's going to watch this video, and picture in your mind when you thought of a woman as being righteous, and then you start to look at her like she's a hoe, can you ever really undo that in your mind? Can you ever really undo that in your mind? A man might still deal with her for whatever he can deal with her for, right? But does he ever really undo in his mind what that woman is, or has he always just got her locked in as that woman's a hoe? And no matter how much he deals with her back and forth, he's still thinking, yeah, but that woman's a hoe though. Now, this is what these nations are doing with Babylon the Great, man. And Babylon the Great is thinking that everyone's looking at her like she's some delicate virgin, man. But no, that's not the case. Revelation chapter 17 and verse 15, and he saith on verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Now, the whore is Babylon. They're going to hate the whore once they realize that she's a hoe. She was flirting, like America, which was Babylon the Great, was all flirting with this country, which would be, in the analogy I'm giving, flirting with this man, flirting with that man. But none of the different men know that she's flirting with all of them. You got 10 men thinking that they all found some delicate, tender, like some unicorn, and she's dealing with every single one. Now, and then they all wonder why they're burning, catching STDs. Well, she's a hoe. She was dealing with everyone. The same line she said when you was dealing with her, and she was saying, "Oh, there's no one else but you." Do you know what I mean? She said that to the other nation, man. So in terms of the nations, when Esau was telling these nations, "Or if you deal with me in America, I'll never betray you. You're gonna be able to have access." And then the next thing you know, he puts sanctions on them. The next thing you know, he puts a sanction on them, man. Now, that would be, in terms of the relationship thing that I'm talking about, that would be the next thing you know, she don't want to give up the box. You know what I mean? She was giving it, but now she don't want to give it no more. She just ghosts you and just bounces to a next country, right? To a next country, man. This is what's happening with America. But because it's like the thing, you see the thing with a whore, right? And this is what I'm gonna apply it to the scriptures, man. But just give me some time, right? You see the thing with a whore in the real world. A whore will have plenty of people that want to deal with her, you know. And she'll be thinking that they're dealing with her because she's special. Right? Now, remember, when I'm saying what I'm saying, I'm really thinking of Babylon the Great, man, which is America. Verse 17, in fact, verse 16 again, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. Now, that's how sometimes men deal with a whore, man. They're like, okay, I'm gonna let this bitch think that she's playing me, right? I'm gonna do something with her. I'm gonna do some freaky thing with her, right? And then I'm gonna dog her out, and I'm never gonna talk to her again. That's what these nations are doing with America, man. They're setting this whore up, this harlot up. She's thinking that she's just some loved woman, but really, at the end of it, she's gonna be through. That's how men deal with hoes, man. The woman's thinking she's finessing the geezer. I got 200. I got 200 out of that nigga. I got 500 out of that nigga. I got 1,000 out of that nigga. And he's thinking, yeah, but what did I get up out of her though? What did she do with me in that bedroom? Just because I gave her $500 or whatever, or £500, £20, whatever the price that, whatever a woman's price would be, man. Right? And then now, any man that's got that amount of money can do that. That's the thing. And the woman only gets that price that she desires so much once, and that money disappears pretty real quick after she buys whatever foolishness she bought with some one item normally. These women love them one item high prices, man. One item that's like some high price one, and it's just one item, and then it don't go with nothing else that they got clothes wise. So now they need to do the same thing with the next geezer to get an outfit to match. She did something with one geezer to get the bag, but now she got to do something to get the dress with another geezer, and now she got to do something with another geezer to get the bracelet, and now she got to do something with another geezer to get the shoes, and now she got to do something with another geezer to get the necklace, right? But then that outfit goes out of style eventually, so now she's got to either go back to the same group of men again to get another outfit, or she's got to find a whole another crew of men, and that's America, man. They keep going to all the different nations, making them drunk, making them fall in lust with America. None of these nations are in love with America. They're in lust with it, man. And lust is really a demon, man. Lust is a demon. Lust leads to you being covetous. Lust can lead to you committing adultery. Lust can lead to you bearing false witness. Lust can lead to you being on a liver. Lust can lead you to eating pork. It can lead you to being worldly, getting tattoos, and trying to style yourself completely 100% and make your whole character and personality be on what women that are wicked like. Right? Lust is really a demon, man. And that's why Paul said what he said in regards to women. If you have a woman, you're gonna have trouble in the flesh, because like women's whole thing is about lust. What would we deal with women and talk to them if we didn't lust after them? That lust part that men have in regards to women, right, is a big portion of it. Take away that part, and a man's got complete power over all of his emotions towards a woman. If he doesn't, like, picture a woman that you don't have no kind of physical attraction to. You don't give a damn what she's got to say about anything. You don't care what she's got to say. If she starts, you'll get up and walk away. You won't really give two shits. But at least the women that you're attracted to, that is the problem. Just like how with these nations, they're in lust with America, so they know that America's a whole. But when they think about it, like, yeah, but I know she's a whole, but like, look at what I can get from her though. Look at all the money she brings into me. Now, if it was a man and a woman saying this, it'd be like, I know she's a hoe, but what she does, what that mouth do though, or what that wop do though, or what that ass do though, or that breast do though, and all that, it would be them physical things. But when it comes to America, these nations are like, yeah, I know she's a hoe, but man, we're bringing in like 20 billion a year from this skeezer. Do you know what I mean? That's how it is. That's how it is with America, man. They're like, yeah, I know she's a hoe. Yeah, she's been giving it around town, gal them leg out here. Her leg's been open there. She's been lifting up her leg here, lifting up her leg there. She's doing this deal with that country, that deal with that country, just giving it up to everyone, right? I know she's doing that, right? But when I think about that money that Babylon's getting me, though, like, I just can't resist. That's how it is. And all the while, the whore is thinking that she's special, because she's thinking, man, look at all these orbiters that I got. Look at all this attention that I'm getting. Look at all these men that want to sleep with me. Look at all these nations that want to deal in business with me, right? But eventually, there comes a time where the whore can't do that no more, man. She becomes old, right? Babylon's become old, man. Babylon's 250 years old, man. Who out there wants to deal with a 250-year-old woman? Babylon's old, man. Babylon the Great's old, 250 years, doing the same stale moves that it's been doing, man. It's old, the whole is old. You know? It's withered, man. The box ain't tight like it used to. Salakia, the box of Babylon the Great ain't tight like it used to be, man. The shit dry. Babylon's fruit. She's trying to put on the makeup to look younger, but it don't work. They're trying to do all these revivals, make America this again, right? And that would be a woman in the terms of the woman sense, trying to get some Botox, right? Trying to get a boob job, trying to get a BBL, trying to get some cosmetic surgery on the face to try and look young again. Mate, America don't look like what it used to look like, man. You just don't have the same flow. But if it's giving up the box easily, people are gonna go for it. Just like how if America's allowing people to just make a little quick hit of $1 million here, $1 billion there, a little deal here, a little deal there, they'll take the deal. But at the end of the day, behind their back, they're thinking, yeah, but you're a hoe though. Just like how a man will, if a woman's giving him an easy layup or a free throw from throwing her body towards him, he'll take it. But after he's done, he's gonna be like, man, that woman's nasty, you know. That woman's nasty. She think I don't know what she's been doing all these other geezers. And I'm on about a grimy geezer will do that because these heathens are grimy as hell. Now, the Israelites of the elect, when they're looking at Babylon the Great, they're like, man, this woman's a hoe. And when she's trying to flirt with him, he's thinking, man, you're a hoe. Don't try and talk to me. And that's why she don't like him, right? That's why she's completely against him, trying to get him unalive, man. And that's why America has got an extreme hatred towards any man that believes in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because we know she's a hoe. We knew that she was a hoe before everyone else. Now everyone else knows she's a hoe, but they're still accepting it. And some of them think, yeah, but she might change. She ain't gonna change, man. She's a hoe, and she's gonna remain one. Verse 17, for God hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of God should be fulfilled. So they're just dealing with this harlot for a time until they don't have to deal with it no more, man. But she's thinking that she's getting away with it. She's thinking, yeah, they all love me. All these men love me. All these countries love me, right? And she can never, she's never alone. She's always can find somebody to agree with her and do a deal with her. That's America. Just like how with these women that are harlots, they can always find a man to sleep with them, you know. They'll never not be able to find a man to sleep with them. They'll never not be able to find one. They'll always be able to find a man to sleep with them. Esau, Babylon the Great, will always be able to find somebody to do a dirty deal with them, right? A dodgy deal, a scam here, a scam there, a false flag here, a false flag there. They'll always be able to find that. They'll be invited over. Oh, come over to China. Yeah, come over, Mr. 47. Come over to China. We'll talk business. They'll always be able to be let in, right? Just like how if a woman shows up to a guy's house, a grimy ninja, and she's prepared to show up to his house, he don't even have to shower before she comes over. She just shows up to his house and is prepared to give the box. Most of these grimy geezers out there, they ain't gonna say no. The heathens are grimy, so they ain't gonna say no to Babylon the Great when she's showing up to his house. He ain't even have to get dressed. You know what I mean? That's how it is with these women, man. But that's how it is with Babylon the Great too, which is the ultimate harlot, because it's allowed women to be harlots, and it's the harlotry from America as a country has literally spread into the people, in particular the women, but the men have got that demon on them as well. The men have got that spirit on them as well. Verse 18, and the woman which thou sawest is the great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Now, doesn't it say in the scriptures that women have the power to destroy kings? Well, Babylon the Great is a harlot that had the power to destroy kings. Now, I want to go back to this whole thing that I said about how there's women out here that are harlots, right? And they think that they're getting away with all this madness, but the men know that they're hoes. But eventually, they're like, man, bun that woman, right? But like when the woman, like if a woman was sleeping with a guy in every single which way he wanted, right, and he didn't have to really put in much effort, and he found out that woman died, yeah, he found out that she's not alive no more. He might be sad that the woman's not alive no more, you know. But when he really actually thinks about it and thinks, man, why am I sad that that woman's not alive no more? Is it because she was a good person? Because I know she was a hoe. Is it because she was a good person? Is it because she like actually was righteous and actually a good woman that would have had the whole rest of her life ahead of her? Because that's not what it was. It's because of all the lustful things that I was able to get out of her. The same way how when it comes to these nations and America, when America's gone, they're going to be mourning that she's gone, but they're not going to be mourning because they loved her. They're going to be mourning because they missed the box. Now, in this scenario, the box is all the riches that they was able to make. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 11, and the merchant of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Now, in the back to the analogy of an actual real man and a woman, the merchandise, them merchant men are going to be mourning because, okay, the way how she used to give it up, these other women don't be giving it up like that. Same thing with Babylon the Great. The way how Babylon the Great be giving it up, these other nations ain't giving it up like that. If you've got money, if you can make money in America, right, it's way different to the UK. The mans that think that they're rich, the Jakes that think that they're rich over in the UK, right? When they go to America, them chains that these Jakes over here in the UK have to try and show off, they don't even look the same. They literally don't twinkle in the light the same, and they don't look like it's the same chain. It don't even look like it's made from the same material, right? The Jake's chain over in the UK don't shine, like it looks kind of like stale in its way it looks. But when you see a Jake in America, like there should be twinkling, man. Twinkle, 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 little star. How I wonder what you are. There's me. Jake's over here in the UK, they want to tuck their chain in. Because when they see them other chains over there, the things that Floyd may be wearing, Rick Ross and all that, all them rappers, all them NBA, like it don't look the same, man. It's a completely different place. Completely different. Verse 12, the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and fine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of precious wood and of brass and of iron and marble. Now, when you consider all these things that I'm saying are literal physical things in the earth, I'm not going to tell you what to think, but all these different gold, silver, these would be different things that a man would do with a harlot that he's now missing out on. The way how she did this for me, the way how she did this as a harlot, the way how she did that as a harlot. And he's missing all of that, man. The way how she was just easy, like they'd be missing that. But not because the woman was righteous, not because the woman was a good person. If a man finds out that a woman that was a harlot got passed away in a car crash, right? Drowned, whatever, she's just not alive no more. He was dealing with her. He's gonna kind of be like, you know what I mean? And he knows that the woman's a demon. He's going to be sad to a certain degree, but not because of her being righteous, though. And this is the same thing that's going to happen with Babylon the Great. Babylon the Great is going to pass away, right? But the people are going to mourn because they're going to miss out. They're going to miss what they could get out of Babylon the Great, not because Babylon the Great was righteous. Most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble, verse 13, and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men, and the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which are dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find no more all. Right? Now, when in this world, right, an actual real female harlot, right, they start to lose their beauty first. They start to lose their beauty first before they fall away, right? That's the same thing that's happening to America. It's losing its beauty, man. It's having to do all these crazy things, having UFC fights at the White House, right? He's having all these people rioting. They're trying to make America this, make America, mate. It's not going to work. They're trying to reinvent themselves now. It's like a harlot that was getting away with murder, right? Getting away with everything she wanted from like her late teens, 18 to like 28, right? And then now they're getting in their mid 40s and now they want to try and reinvent themselves and start trying to be nice and humble when they've been with thousands of men and always blame the man for being the problem. And mate, no one don't want to deal with that. Now, some people might still deal with it if she just gives it up easy, right? Just like how these nations will deal with Esau. Like they'll deal with Esau and make Esau feel like, yeah, we like you. Yeah, we haven't seen them videos of them men saying that you're Edomites. We haven't seen it. We still think you're white. These nations are pretending like they ain't seen the videos of brothers. They're pretending like they ain't seen the message out there. They've heard it. They've seen it. They know that Esau's an Edomite now. They know, man. And they're considering and like, yeah, he is an Edomite. Just like how if a man started to tell other men, like, you see that woman there, she's a hoe, you know. They might be like, nah, I think you hate women. I think you hate women. And other men might say straight up, I don't care. As long as she's doing for me what I want to do. As long as she's doing for me what I want to do, I don't business if she's a harlot. Some men will tell you straight up like that in this world, right? But eventually they'll be like, man, they won't be able to unsee it, man. They won't, like, eventually it becomes so blatantly in the face that, like, ugh, man. Like, ugh. That's how it is with America. Verse 15, the merchant of these things which were made rich by thee shall stand afar off for fear of their torment, weeping and wailing. So if that woman, going back to the harlot woman, found herself in a fire, right? No man ain't jumping in a fire to save no harlot. No man with any sense anyway. They're gonna, as soon as that fire breaks, they're gonna be thinking about their own life, man. They're gonna be thinking about their own life, especially if they knew that the woman was a demon. They ain't gonna jump into no fire to save her. None of these nations ain't gonna be trying to think of a way to try and help Babylon the Great reinvent itself and become a new America and somewhere else. No, they're just gonna be thinking, man, I'm lost out on all this wealth that I used to have. They ain't gonna be thinking about saving America. They ain't gonna be trying to do that. They're not going to be. The merchant of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for fear of their torment, weeping and wailing and saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company of ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, alas, alas, what great city is like unto this great city? Now, going back to the ways of men speaking about a harlot, they'll be like, man, she was fine though. And the body was, and the ex was fire. It's a shame that she died because she was fine though. She was fine as hell. Like, I ain't really seen too many women that are fine like that. Now, doesn't it, when you go into Revelation 17, doesn't it say that that the man saw a woman that was beautiful? Right? Let's go to it, man. Revelation chapter 17 and verse 6, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Because America, if you turned America, right, if you turned the spirit of America, which is the golden cup in Yahweh's hand, that's made the whole earth drunk, and if you physically, like, just like how the word of Yahweh was turned into Yahushua, right? If you take the literal concept of America, everything that it stands for, and turned it into a woman, that woman would be fine as hell. But she would be a wicked, evil, vindictive demon. It would be a woman that no man would really, when they see her, be able to say she's ugly or she's chopped. Nah, you're lying. You'd be lying, man. And then if you was to say that she was chopped, and then we was to compare it to the women that you've been with, we'd see that that physical manifestation of America physically might look better than most women. Right? Now, I'm using this to explain that, like, that's the reason why these nations are going to mourn America's passing. Because it was if you go back to the analogy of a man, a woman that's fine as hell that you was getting it from, you hear about her passing and she just easily gave up to you. You could just always get some from her. You might be like, man, damn. Because she was fine as hell. But you're not really sad because you cared for the woman. You just cared about what you was able to get out of her, man. You're not genuinely hurt to the heart like how a man would be sad of his wife passing away, right? You're just like, man, that was some, like, man. Verse 7, and the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which have the 7 heads and 10 horns. And what's the mystery? Ultimately, that she's a hoe. That's ultimately the mystery, man, that she's fruit, right? Verse 18, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, alas, alas, what great city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city, when were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her customers, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Now, going back to the analogy of a man just viewing a harlot, man, they might physically see the woman just passing away. Like, imagine you seeing a woman that's a harlot, the town bike, just burning. That would be stressful. That would actually be stressful. She's screaming. Ah! She might personally call out to you in the crowd, help me, help me, help me. Ah! She all burning and that, right? You're going to be looking at her like, man, I ain't helping a damn thing. I ain't helping a motherfucking fan, Nilla. You ain't going to be helping. Maybe there's no point of us both burning. So you burn, but it's still gonna be stressful. You're gonna be like, man, like, oh nah, man. Like when you actually see it manifest, you be like, raw. This is kind of peak, you know. You know what I mean? It's a sticky. What's that UK thing? It's a sticky one still. Yeah, it's a bit of a sticky situation and that. Yeah, you be looking and be like, man, what the hell is going on here? But you ain't gonna help though. But it will be still stressful. Just like how when all these nations see what actually happens to America, it completely burned with fire through ICBMs in World War III. They're gonna be stressed out, man. They're gonna be like, what the hell? They're gonna cast dust on their heads, all that. They're like, raw. They're gonna hiss at the plagues, right? Just picture you see a harlot get burnt to death and you see the body and you be like, that's hissing at the plagues, man. You just see her body, the body burnt up. You're like, damn, that's hissing. Hissing at the plague, like, raw, that beautiful one was turned into ash like that. Just like how America, that beautiful America, spiritually, that woman of America is going to be turned into nothing, man. But the judgment of a harlot, does it ever come quickly? No. It takes a while, man. She gets away with that harlotry for a long, 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 long time, you know. And then eventually, guess what? She don't get away with it no more, right? She gets away with it until she don't get away with it. That's how it goes, man. She normally gets away with it until she don't no more. The judgment of a harlot never comes quickly, man. The judgment of a whore never comes quickly. So shall it be with Babylon the Great. Shalom to the elect.